Anyway, I think I might set the goal for 1,000 by the end of the year. So before I get too far into this video, I need to clarify that in the middle of ArtFight, like a lightning strike, I got hit with the sickness beam. I'm still sick, but I need to put this video out on a certain schedule for it to make any sense. I wanted it to be out by Tuesday. If this is Tuesday, awesome. If not, oh well. Anyway, so I'm recording this while I'm still kind of sick, so if I sound a little bit ridiculous, that is why. So there are a lot of things that I wanted to cover while I was making this video, so I'm just going to do a few different sections. I'll list out all the sections on the screen so that if there's something specific that you wanted to look for or that you're here for, you can just go to it. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the whole video that I have planned here. If you have any advice for finding motivation for the end of ArtFight, feel free to put those in the comments because I think we all need them. Or if you just want to share like how your ArtFight experience has gone. I know for some people it's gone a lot better than others, and I'm curious to hear what people have to say. I'm going to be starting with going over some of the attacks that I've done. I'm actually in the middle of an attack right now that I haven't put up, which I will hopefully have put up by the time this video goes out. I did work on some attacks and did receive also more attacks since I recorded this video, but I will just do that in a general overview that I post at the end of ArtFight once it's actually done. I'm not going to crowd this video up even more. Anyway, so I'm going to be going through some of the characters that are already on my account and explaining why I made what decisions. Now, if you guys have seen the first video that I made before ArtFight started, you'll remember that for the first week, my goal was to copy other people's styles. Originally, I did even list out artists that I wanted to reference, which I have listed out since then, but I did not follow any of them because my desire for the ArtFight grind kind of took over. So this was my first drawing. This I made for Nep Draws, and it's their character Father Josiah. It's like an AU of one of their other characters. I really liked him because I like that he's not an unwilling priest. He's definitely like proud of his role. He takes it very seriously, but he still has a lot of guilt for who he is as a person, taking on this role and things like that. So I just really liked it. I had this lamb to symbolize like innocence, and maybe he feels guilty for like a loss of innocence. There's a lot of lore here. I really suggest you check out his toy house. All of these links I'll be putting in the description so that if you have any interest in a particular character or you want to just go check out these people's accounts, I highly recommend that you do so. I struggled on this pose a little bit. One, because something I really wanted to try was to draw this like white fluff of the lamb outside of the lines and add a few more not strictly outlined details. Again, trying to reference this specific artist, their art and also like username should be on the screen. The background isn't super specific. I kind of just sketched out like a really quick background, and I haven't done a lot of things with this kind of like setup and lighting. This whole thing was kind of a bit of an experiment, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I didn't reference the actual artist that much, but I was really proud of this work, and I felt like I started ArtFight off strong. It was also one of those instances where after I immediately drew it, I was kind of like pissed off and disappointed. There were a lot of moments while I was drawing it that I was like, oh my god, this looks like crap, but eventually I sort of got there, and I'm happy with this now. I like this a lot more. My second piece was also my first revenge. Well, technically that one was also a revenge, but I was already working on it and I didn't realize Depp was gonna draw me first, so it's just a matter of like coincidence. But this is my second drawing, the second attack that I made. This is for Truce Blues, their OC the 7th Trumpet. It was like a porcelain doll sort of thing, like a porcelain angel, which I really like. I've never actually drawn porcelain cracks before, so it was definitely an experiment, but I was taking a little bit more time. I had a different brush than I usually use. I was using Procreate instead of Clip Studio. I was doing this at work, so I had a bit more time, and I also used more gradient for the bits that don't stand out as much, and I thought that this just had a really cool look to it. I really love the color. The colors, oh my god. I was putting these colors down and I fell in love. It's not quite like the reference itself, but I really like it. I thought like I wanted like an antique-ish, like vintage kind of like washed out on purpose. A lot more brown tones, and for the background I wanted to make it seem like she's just like on a shelf or on a table, just like in a house, but obviously not, you know, things aren't as they seem with her, and there's like an evil, not evil, but like a sinister undertone, which is why I have these like spooky, and it's like washed out again. And so anyway, I really like this. I was really happy with this. I was also pretty happy with the rendering. It's not too specific, it wasn't too difficult, but the hair, I really like how I did the hair. I love the brush and the way that I did the highlights. It isn't as bright as I used to do. I also did reference an artist for this. As you'd see in the spade paint, I started with this like yellowish base, and all of the brushes that I used on top of it were these like a little bit more opaque. Not opaque, what's the word? A little bit more transparent. You can't really tell, or I don't know if you can tell. I tried this again with another like attack that the one I'm working on now, because I really like how this artist uses like this kind of choppier coloring in this yellow underbase to have this like really cohesive and nice color palette. And this did have a really cohesive and nice color palette. We'll see with that one I'm working on now to see if this is like a pattern or if I just happen to strike magic with this one. And then for my final attack, this one also took the longest time. This is Ira, I think, IRA, Ira for June. I drew him. Originally I wasn't planning on making this like whole big scene. I just wanted something like a little bit sketchier, but I ended up getting kind of carried away. There are a lot of things about this that frustrate me, from the fact that the hand doesn't actually make any sense in retrospect, to the fact that I had such a difficult time getting this face and angle correct. It was actually unbelievable how long all of this took me. And the background, oh my god, don't even get me started on how much hell this background gave me. It was such a mess. I was struggling really hard. One thing I really like about this piece though is not just the colors. I do really like the coloring happening here, but I also really like the lining that I did. The line weight is ideal for me. If I'm creating a lot of like big pieces, this is how I want the line weight to look. And here, I really love this piece. I really do. And I like the texture and I like the brushing, but this like line style, it's small and it's relatively smooth. I used a brush I used to use and I stopped using for a while, and I just, yes, I really love the way I did this. It kind of reminds me of my pieces from last year, but I didn't spend nearly as long in this, which again, like, I didn't want to spend nearly as long, so good. Good on me. And if I end up finishing that other piece before the end, then I'll throw that in here. So yeah, that's all of my attacks, and now I wanted to move on to talking about all of the attacks given to me. I'm just going to be interrupting this video for a really quick moment to say that I have commissions open, and also all of these updates, all of these full pieces are uploaded on my various social media platforms, which are on my website. All of those links will be down in the description if you're at all interested. I also just wanted to put it out there that, oh my god, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but like, actually, I'm kind of still in shock. I don't even know what to say. I have a few different plans for how that'll go, but I'll throw those ideas out on my Instagram and also my YouTube, like the YouTube post section, and we can see like, you know, what ideas you guys like, what ideas you guys vibe with. Thank you so much. I don't want to take too much time out of this video. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. I refer to all of the artists here with they them pronouns. That isn't necessarily what all of these artists use. It's like my default for when I don't know. My bad. Sorry. This was the first attack I got by Truce Blues. I revenged them earlier, as you saw. And like, this was, you know, this is like second day art fight that I got this. I actually was like squealing so bad. All of my OCs are on my like various social media, so I don't want to explain too much about my own characters, but I thought that the green lighting was so cool. And I really like, I don't know, something about the posing, the running from something, I thought it was so cool. It's so interesting to look at. And sorry, I don't want to like spend too much time on each of these, but I think it's really interesting to look at. I like the coloring a lot, the bright colors. I like the inclusion of this little eye thing because it was in one of my references. I wasn't sure if anyone would want to use it, but I really like it. This was the second piece I got. This was from Nep Draws. I drew their character first, but this ended up being a revenge because I'm a slow artist. Anyway, there's like a lot of things that I really like about this. This started off the pistol train for my character Raph, which is funny because he has an M16. In my mind, he has an M16, and I drew him with like a gun strap, and I thought all of like his one reference, but I don't think I was clear enough because everyone drew him with a pistol, and I kind of fell in love with the idea afterwards. Like, the more people did it, I was like, actually, the pistol life kind of makes a lot of sense for him. I really like it. But in this instance, I like it. This is the first time I'd seen it, and I wasn't sure yet. Like, I wasn't sold on it, but I am now. I'm sold, and I really like it. I like the vibe a lot. I like that thermals were included. I mentioned like I didn't have a reference for them, but he would have to wear thermals, you know, eventually, and he is here, and I like it. I also really like the snow. I think it has this cool effect. The lighting, it's definitely like I feel the cold. I feel the nighttime vibes. I feel like a sneaking around almost. I really like it. It's very cool. Thank you, Nep. This is awesome. This was my third attack that I got, and I really like the vibes of this piece. I like, they're very chill and like not cutesy, but it's like the others are kind of intense and like not lore heavy, but kind of lore heavy. And this one is like, she's chilling. I really like it. I like how soft the colors are. I'm like kind of a sucker for the lining and having the coloring like not match, like, what's the word, exactly in the lines. Like, I really like it when there's like a dissonance between the lines themselves and the coloring, and I don't know if that's on purpose, but it's just something I'm generally a sucker for. I like the colors a lot. I think that they're really soft and really pretty, and I like whatever brush they use a lot. It was just like, it's really not soft, but like straight, and the difference in line weight is really cool. And I just really like how soft it is. It makes me feel like, what's the word? I'm blanking on a word, but it feels like a, not a filler episode, but yeah, like a let's all chill and hang out kind of vibe, which is very different than a lot of the other pieces, and I really like it. And speaking of chill, let's hang out vibes, this was another attack that I got by Wildfire, and I just really love when they're just chilling, but this doesn't feel like just chilling, which is part of the reason I like it. It feels like there's like a heavy weight, I guess, and I know that like she's also just nervous because of she's like a nervous character, but I really like how she's kind of like her holding herself. She's looking in another direction. She doesn't actually look relaxed, which is kind of how I be feeling all the time when I'm like chilling in my work or whatever, and I'm like, you know, there's still like an edge, like you can never quite relax, and I really liked that vibe for her. Also, I like love this blonde color for her hair. I don't think that was the color that I made her hair. It was like a little bit more greenish, and maybe it is, I don't know, maybe it's just like the colors in general. I see that there's like a pink highlight here and here, and I really like that difference in color. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, there's even more like color diversity than I thought there was, and a lot of texture diversity. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here, and I really like it. Anyway, this I got from Lua, I don't know how to pronounce that name, Lua Dusk. Anyway, this is Raph. I really like this because, I mean, like, this is definitely more like, I guess, modern AU, but it's still cool, and it also gave me the idea of, I need to give him a ponytail now. It has to happen. I can't continue on like this. He needs to be able to put his hair up in a ponytail once in a while, and like, I'm kind of a sucker for giving my characters ponytails. It's one of my favorite things, so I was purposefully avoiding that with Raph in terms of like his actual design, but there's only so long I can avoid it before being like sucked into the I need him in a ponytail agenda like right now. It has to happen. I also like the facial anatomy, the just like structure of this whole piece, unbelievable. Seriously, like I could never, I mean, like maybe I could if I like, you know, worked on it, but anyway, I just like, I like the semi-realistic approach of this. I like the ponytail. I like that he's kind of like been pulled out of the universe that I had him in, and I just like, I like seeing him as like a person and looking like a person. It's like, oh my god, that's my boy. So yeah, thank you. That one was great. I don't know if I'm thanking everyone. I'm not keeping track. I'm like excited, so I'm talking excitedly. Speaking of excitedly, this, oh my god, when I got this, when I tell y'all that I like actually lost my freaking mind, I squealed. I ran around my house when I got this attack. Not only is it an animated attack, to which this is a massive honor. I think this is Michael. It looks like Michael, so I'm just gonna say Michael. Sorry if it's not, but oh my god, I saw this attack, and not only is it like beautifully animated, not only is Noelle in these like cute ass pajamas that I'm obsessed with, but there's two other things. I mean, like the lyrics, obviously having the lyrics to her theme song, which is 16 Mirrors, is like the song I declared was hers in my head. Like that's the song that matches her the closest, and having the overlapping lyrics from the song overlapping here is so cool. But even all of that aside, I also really like that one of the drawings has like her third eye, and this one doesn't, because this implies, like, I don't know if this person intended all of this, if Michael like intended this, but in my head, okay, if like the third eye is like a later stage development of her future sight or whatever, and so early on when she's still like not sure what's going on and like still like struggling with like heavy derealization, she doesn't have it, and she doesn't have it here, which actually ends up matching perfectly in comparison to the other one, and I don't even have words. I was squealing. This was is awesome. Oh my god, all of these attacks are so great. I'm like getting re-excited talking about all of these. So this is another one of Raph, and I really like this because it brings in one of like the mutant animal thingies that I wanted to include in this story, which I didn't have any references for because I don't know, I just didn't. But this is the first time that I've seen them, like, you know, on a page, and it looks like a comic page, and the colors, and I am like so obsessed with the way that this background and like foreground is done with the trees, and I love the depth of the footsteps and the pistol, which has now become his thing, and it's all just, I just look at it and it looks so scrumptious. It's so visually appealing, and I love like the depth happening here, and this monster in the background, the eye movement, it draws your eyes so well, and the canvas is big enough that on the ArtFight website, when I first open it, it's like I'm reading it, and I'm so obsessed, and I just love this so much. This attack was by Tiny Bee. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely obsessed with all of this. It looks incredible. Next one is this drawing by Rain or something. This piece, Rain, is so cool. Like, I just obsessed with it. Like, it's another one of those mutant animals, which I'm like, I see them and I go crazy because I haven't drawn them yet, and so it's like seeing an idea in my head on the page. It looks incredible. The colors, they're so pretty. The colors are gorgeous. The gradients that are happening throughout here, the fact that it's not color picked directly from my reference, right? Like, it's just the colors. I'm sweating, my fever is kicking in, and I had to turn my AC off so that I could record this, and I'm like, oh god. And I didn't even consider the possibility of Freya, my OC, being like an animal person. I don't know how I didn't clock that. It feels like the most obvious thing in the world. Duh, the nature obsessed girl would be nature obsessed. Well, anti-nature, but you know what, it don't matter. Like, it feels like, duh, like, this idea, I should have thought of this myself. But it's awesome to see that, you know, like, that Rain, like, took enough consideration of my OC to put them in this situation in the first place, and I didn't even think of. It's like, yeah, yes, it's perfect. The next attack I got was from Misk Take. I don't actually know how to pronounce this, but anyway, I really love this piece of Raph as well. One of the things that I wrote about him was that he would have an RPG, or we would want an RPG. That's his goal. He wouldn't have one immediately because I feel like anyone isn't, you know, you're insane if you're giving an RPG to an untrained soldier who obviously really wants to explode things. But I thought that this was really cool because they gave it to him, and he looks like so happy about it, and I'm like, I don't know, the angle, the perspective is really cool. And one thing I really like about Miss art is like the shape language, which certainly comes through here, and I'm seriously obsessed with it. I also really like how they managed to like balance out the red background because it's just so cool, and it looks so intense, but the colors themselves are not intense, and but it still doesn't, like, it doesn't pull away from the subject. It manages to work, and I don't know how, because I can't use strong color backgrounds like that and make it work. It's a weakness of mine. I struggle so bad using like really strong colors, so it's so cool to see it here, and the perspective is so fucking cool. And anyway, yeah, thank you so much. And then the most recent attack that I've gotten, but this is the last attack that I got, and it's also my first mass attack of the year, which is super cool. This is of me and my persona, and I really like this. I like the outfit. It reminds me of how I used to draw myself, and I really like it. It makes me feel like I don't know, what's the word, like a techie. I used to draw myself like steampunk, or like in this kind of like style with the aviators and stuff, and so it's really cool to see myself drawn in this way. Also, I like mass attacks like this are super cool because I like to see all the other artists and their other OCs, and it's super fun to see like characters I'm not even familiar with, all of us together. It's cool, and I really like seeing it, and I get really excited when I see these because it's like it starts to not like pull out of the world, but you know, it's like crossover episodes, which are the best. I also really like this OC. I don't know whose OC this is. I'll put it on the screen, but I really like this OC. I really like the colors used here, and I like the colors used on my hair as well, and I'm just realizing I'm liking the purple and the blue colors, which are my favorites anyway. I think it's really cool, and I like the blue highlights as well. It's a really sick stylistic choice. I'm a big fan. Oh my god, and the signature's in that same blue. I understand. I see what's happening here. This is by iCollab. That is all of the art that has been given or received this art fight. How my own goals held up in this process. They didn't. Straight up, they didn't hold up. Not only did I not really follow my week 1, but I didn't even do week 2. I have been sick since July 8th. which is literally the second week of ArtFight. I've been ill, and it's currently the weekend. It's July 11th as I'm recording this right now, and I'm only just now sort of starting to get better, so hopefully I'll be able to finish some more attacks. I just, like, there's a lot of people, obviously, and I have a list of everyone that I'm going to be revenging and exactly what characters. And I do have like a plan, which I'll get to in a second. But anyway, my own plan didn't really hold up. I am on track to complete my 5 to 6 pieces and 4 revenges by the end of the month. I think I can complete 10 full pieces by the end of the month, which is significantly more than any other year I've done before. And if I can get that done, I will be happy. But otherwise, my actual content itself goals, not met. Did not happen at all. My bad. Whoops. I tried. I did a little bit of it, but plans always tend to fall through. And at the end of the day, I just prioritized making art over the improvement aspect of it or the referencing aspect of it. My bad. I don't know why I don't learn, but to be fair, I did say in the video that I probably wouldn't follow my goal, but that I'm hoping to keep myself accountable. So it kind of half worked, but otherwise, So what's my plan for the next 2 weeks? I want to even up this ratio, which means at least 6 more drawings. I do already have a list of the people that I want to revenge, and I do also want to do my own individual attacks for other artists that I like and other OCs that caught my eye this year. So I'll have to find some way to balance it, but I don't really want to balance it now. I don't want to decide in this moment because, again, the more I plan, the more I fail, it seems. I don't know if I'll keep to any of the themes. I still really want to do some classical practice, but I might make a point of doing some classical practice like oil painting. I don't mean classical like actual classical. I know that as soon as I use that term, I don't want like art nerds to come for me. I do include like Renaissance, original, like classical. I just mean like oil paintings of that type, that era. But I could also just make that into a separate video later on showing experimentation with maybe one of my OCs or making fan art or something like that. So I don't want to like hold myself to that. The more I plan, the more I fail. So we're just gonna say I want to even out my ratio. I want to have this even by the end of the year. And do I have anything else to add in terms of a plan? Not really. I don't think I do have a plan. I mean, I want to upload this video in a few days, and I'll make another video at the end of ArtFight going over like things I've learned, how I've improved, more of like an analytical overview of everything, as well as how I think ArtFight could be improved next year, because I have come across some things that bothered me about the ArtFight interface itself. And then we'll come back and just, end of year discussion on how ArtFight went. It's also the last 2 weeks, so everyone usually loses motivation right now, and there are significantly less attacks than there are in the beginning. If you're in the same boat and you're kind of losing motivation, let this be your sign to continue. There's still another 2 weeks, and there's still plenty of art to be made. And by plenty, I mean like at least one more, because I usually die out in the first 2 weeks. I'm just determined not to, because I got sick in the first week and I need to make up for it. And also, I care about my battle ratio and I want it to be even. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I have commissions open again. All of that information is just going to be on my website. Every link will be in the description. It'll be a bit of a messy description this time. And yeah, okay, that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys at the end of ArtFight. Make the most of it, just like I'm gonna try my best to do. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, and thanks so much again.